I'm Clara, and I'm here with John McAfee. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. The Malta Summit that's happening now I go to many of these, maybe a half a dozen a year, all around the world. This is one of the most energetic, one of the largest, and one of the most positive energies that I have seen. Everybody here is excited about the future. All the speakers are excited. The audience is excited. Everybody is engaged. To me, in the middle of a bear market where everything is depressed, to have that sort of energy and positivity, that's an excellent sign. It tells me we are growing and we're here to stay.
You've said that you're worried about the fees and the scams and power of centralized currencies. Do you think that decentralized currencies is the answer?
Well, we're not going to get rid of the scams. Cryptocurrency is the Wild West. There's no laws, really. 9 out of 10 companies are fake. That is, they have no intention of actually doing anything. They simply want to raise money and buy a yacht and disappear. We audit many of our companies that we work with, in fact, all of them, really. 9 out of 10 are scams. We audited one company a few months back where every single member of the team, from the CEO on down to the developers, were non-existent people. They had taken photographs of people who had died, put them up on their website, created fake curriculum vitae, and they were not real. And this is how bad it gets. So you can't get rid of the scams. You can get rid of the scams of exchanges by decentralizing, and you can certainly get rid of the threat of government interference by decentralizing. Decentralized exchanges are coming, and when that happens, the crypto community will be totally free. You cannot regulate it, you can't make laws against it, you can't tell us what to do or what not to do.
It's also a big problem in politics around the world with voting or scams or fake news. How do you think blockchain can make the world and politics better?
Well, the blockchain is the obvious solution for all of these things, where we have multiple votes from one person. In America it happens all the time. Okay, they move from one precinct to another and continue to vote. And with the blockchain, you can validate each person. You have one person and one vote. The blockchain will solve most of the world's problems of deception. Let me give you an example. If we had the blockchain since the beginning of human history, we would have a totally different history. Why? What is history? It is a record written by the conqueror, the winner. And the winner gets to decide what happens, right? The losers don't have any say. So their story and their perspective and their reality has disappeared from the human record. If we had the blockchain since the beginning of time, that could not have happened. We would have the totality, the truth of everything that happened. We would have a different history. That would benefit us because we define ourselves as humans from our human history. And with a different history, we would define ourselves differently. So it's a very powerful tool to be applied to all of history, and I think one day it will be, all the way down to voting, or for mundane things like the supply chain problem. It will permeate every aspect of our lives. And it will permeate even the unfortunate individual aspects. At some point in the long future, you will not be able to cheat on your spouse because it will be impossible. All right? The record of everything that you have done will be there. So you're going to be giving up a little bit of privacy, but what you get in exchange is freedom, because you're living in a world of truth. Why is the blockchain so powerful? It is not under human control. It's under the control of mathematical formulas, which don't lie. 2 and 2 is always 4. Now, you can tell your wife or your husband that 2 and 2 is 3, and they might believe you, but not with the blockchain. So it will transform culture and transform human relationships for the better. Now, it will be difficult at first for those of us who are used to deceiving, lying, telling tall tales, calling your boss and saying, I'm sick today, but I'm playing golf. That will disappear, okay? You can still play golf, but you'll have to be honest about it. You'll have to say, boss, I'm not coming in today, I'm playing golf. Well, the boss will have to get used to it, or you will have to get used to it. It will transform society.
And you are politically active. Why would I vote for you? What
I
would
don't
you
want you to
change?
vote for me. I'm running for president. I ran for president in 2016 under the Libertarian banner. What that gave me was access to the national stage, where I was able to talk about things that I thought were important. And in 2016, I thought the problem of cybersecurity was a major problem in America, and it was. And because I said the things that I said, our cybersecurity in America has become very tight. This time I want to talk about the blockchain and cryptocurrency and how that can free people to make individuals responsible for their own financial freedom. And from financial freedom comes all other freedoms. So that's what I'll be talking about. I don't want your vote. I have enough followers and enough fans that I can legally take the stage and run for president. But I'm going to say, I don't want to be president. I don't care if you vote for me, because I can't be. It's impossible for me to be elected president. If you know anything about my background, please God, no. However, I still have the right to run.
This morning there was in your discussion you said that something about a prostitution coin. Is that still on the table?
There was for a period of months I was contacted by an organization run by a number of prostitutes called Pink Date, and they wanted to create a token for prostitution. Well, it made good sense, because if you're using tokens, then your wife is not going to get a credit card statement and say, what was this $500 for, right? No. It made good sense, and I advised them. The problem was, their pimps were always moving them to different parts of the country, and they never could stay organized, and it fell apart. But yeah, I'll advise anybody. And ultimately, tokens and the blockchain and cryptocurrency will be in every aspect of the world. In America, there was a young student, 7 years old, who created an ERC20 token called the Billy token, and everybody in school was using that as currency. What's wrong with that? Make as many tokens as you like.
Do you think that maybe Bitcoin will be overtaken by Ethereum?
But it's not a matter of Bitcoin or Ethereum. There are now 5,000 coins. I don't know which one is going to win, and it's not a matter of winning. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of which coin do I want to use for any specific function. I think in the end, there'll be everything. There'll be an ice cream token or an ice cream coin, and if you're at the ice cream parlor, you don't have to worry about using the token. Your wallet will have all the intelligence in it to know, I'm at the ice cream store, I'll get better value if I use the ice cream token. And so it will do all of these exchanges, and you'll be paying in ice cream tokens. Then you go to the movie, and you'll pay in the movie token. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So there's not a matter, will Bitcoin win or Ethereum? No. Bitcoin will have its place, Ethereum will have its place, and the ice cream token will have its place.
Can you tell me about the McAfee alliance?
Yes, one of the problems in cryptocurrency is that we have no regulations, we have no rules. It's like the Wild West. If you have a gun, you go in and you rob the liquor store, and that's what you do. So you have to take care of yourself, you have to be cautious. And we don't need enforcement. What we need is education. If you know, for example, that an exchange is stealing from you, and everybody knows it, we don't need to shut the exchange down. It will shut itself down because it will have no customers, because no one will use it. So it's a different world. With the blockchain, we're based on information, on reality and truth. Do you need policemen to shut someone down if all their customers walk away? No, they shut themselves down. So the McAfee Alliance is a way to collect information, which we try to validate, about those main scammers in this field, and most of them are exchanges, because they have unlimited power. No one knows where they are. We don't know what country they're in. We don't know who works there. So they're free to do what they want, and they do. So all we have to do is notify people, listen, if you put your money there, they're likely to keep it, take half of it, who knows? So people stop using it.
Now Malta is trying to be this big hub for blockchain and ICOs and everything. Do you think it will change the way that Malta is, the way people think?
Well, temporarily, yes, because we still have centralized exchanges, which can be shut down by governments. That's the power that they hold over us. If we do not adhere to their regulations and rules, then they can shut us down. In 2 years, we will have decentralized exchanges, where The exchange is running on 10 million devices, 10 million smartphones and pads all around the world, and it's constantly changing and fluid. You can't shut it down. When that happens, government regulations become meaningless. Because if you have a regulation or a law, but there is no power to enforce it, nobody pays attention. So all the laws that are being passed now in Malta, and I agree with them, that's great. It will help us grow. In 2 years' time, no one will pay attention to them because we will not have to. That's the tragedy of what's happening. Governments will eventually have to accept the fact they will have to change.